What's up everyone, it's Hitman89. Hope you're having an awesome day. Enshrouded is an open-world survival RPG that's been in early access for 2 years, and since it's getting a full release in just a few months, I decided to dive into it again in order to answer the following question. Is Enshrouded worth playing right now, or should you wait for the full release? Let's find out. But first, wanna save $5 on Enshrouded? Or maybe you're into the latest games. If that's the case, then check out Pathologic 3. It just came out and it's already 50% off on Instant Gaming. Quarantine Zone is also pretty cheap if you wanna give it a shot. Look how many games go for less than $20. Got a console? Save some money on your PSN gift cards and then use them to buy games directly on your PS5. Game Pass subscriptions are also way cheaper here, so click the link in the description or scan this QR code and save tons of money on all your favorite games. Now let's get back to the review. Exploration in Enshrouded feels unique because of two things. Number one, the Shroud, an all-consuming fog that kills you if you stay in it too long. The second you step into it, you get enshrouded. And yeah, that's why the game's called that. So you can only survive in the Shroud for a couple of minutes at first, then you'll be able to extend that time as you make progress. Number two, the voxel-based world, meaning you can dig holes everywhere, make tunnels, and put hostages in. Yeah, let's not do that. What I meant to say is, you can dig holes to carve some sort of stairs in mountains to scale them more easily. Oh, and you can tell the world is handcrafted. It would be much more replayable if it was procedurally generated, but I honestly prefer a world that makes sense. Now I think we can all agree that Enshrouded is a gorgeous game. But the optimization sucks dick. I really wish the devs would at least add frame gen support so I don't have to resort to using DLSS performance to maintain 60 FPS at 4K max settings with a 4080. Oh, and my game crashed twice while making this review. Seriously, Enshrouded needs way more optimization. By the way, my brother has a 3070, he plays on medium settings at 1080p, disgusting, and even though he also uses DLSS performance, his frame rate still drops all the way down to the low 40s in forests and other vegetation-rich areas, which is like 60% of the map. So I really wouldn't recommend getting the game if you have a low-end PC, but just in case, this is what it looks like on the lowest settings.
Hi.
Oh, yeah, you'll come across a couple of bugs here and there while playing Enshrouded. I don't know why these guys keep going through the floor. Every now and then, a wolf's gonna get stuck in a bush, and flying enemies, well, they get stuck everywhere. As you can see, the camera angles can be horrendous at times, especially when locking onto an enemy. I stopped counting how many times I fell to my death trying to roll around one, and zooming out didn't help. By the way, melee combat plays like a Souls-like, and it feels much better with the controller. Anyway, back to the frustrating stuff. Enemies stun you, but you rarely stun them or interrupt their attacks, and they really like to gang up on you. This is probably the most I've died in a survival game, whether it's from falling into Shroud lava or just getting the shit kicked out of me by reskins of the same 3 or 4 enemy types you'll see throughout the whole game. Now when it comes to crafting, I like how the game tells you where you can find resources. What I don't like, on the other hand, is that although crafting is fine at first, the more you play the game, the more tedious it gets. Let me give you an example so you don't think I'm just a whiny little bitch. To craft this helmet, you need all these ingredients. To make warm paddings, you need fabric, leather, resin, and wool. Now to make leather, you need dried fur, salt, and ammonia glands. And to make dried fur, you need animal fur and salt. And that's just one ingredient out of the dozen you need to craft this piece of armor. So if I bored you to death these last 20 seconds, imagine spending hours collecting and crafting those ingredients. It feels like having a full-time job. Want a too long didn't read version? Okay, Enshrouded is a blast for like 30 hours. After that, the repetitiveness and grind will slowly but surely take all the fun away. Alright, let's talk about the good stuff. You can play this solo or in co-op with up to 15 friends, and that's dope. But you guys know me, I have no friends, so I played this with my brother, and our time together mostly consisted of us dying every 30 seconds. He enjoyed the game much more than I did, probably because I had to do all the crafting, but he really wanted me to let you guys know that there are too many mountains. He's not wrong. In this game, you spend 50% of your time trying to figure out a way to scale mountains or navigate around them. Thank God you get a glider pretty early on, which makes traversal faster and way more fun. Now, if digging holes in mountains to make your own stairs sounds like a chore and you don't really dig that kind of stuff, then you can do the exact opposite. How? Let me show you. In this game, you can only build within a certain radius around these flame altars, but it only takes 5 stones to make one. So just place a flame altar, build stairs or any platform you want, and then use them as makeshift bridges. You could also make your own tower that you can jump from and glide your way to your destination. Took me 2 years to figure this shit out. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more basic tips. In all seriousness now, the building system is decent. You can do pretty much whatever you want. This is as far as my building skills go though. Yeah, you can play instruments, and most importantly, you can choose between all sorts of builds: stealth, one-handed or two-handed warrior, mage, archer, rogue, and probably a couple of other ones that I can't recall right now. Speaking of playstyles, whether you use the keyboard and mouse, a Series X, or a PS5 controller, Enshrouded is perfectly playable. Also, tons of content was added during these 2 years, from entirely new biomes to NPCs, quests, skills, and items. Most of them can be easily found, but there's some hidden stuff too, like secret areas and chests that you can only find by digging through certain walls. I think it's time to move on to the verdict. No one can deny that Enshrouded is much better now than it was 2 years ago, but there is still room for improvement, especially in terms of optimization, so more people can enjoy the game on PC, and also to make sure it's ready to be released on PS5 and Xbox Series this spring. Now, if you don't mind the fact that it's super grindy, it'll keep you busy for at least 100 hours with its current amount of content, and that's why I'm giving it a 7.5 out of 10. So, is it worth playing right now? Definitely. If you have a decent PC, go for it. Make sure to use the link in the description if you want to save like $5 on it. And if you're on console, then you'll obviously have to wait for the full release. And that's gonna be it for this review. Hope you liked it. Last vid, we had a Titan Quest 2 Steam Key giveaway, so let's see who won it. Congrats! DM me on X or send me an email to claim your key. Next, we'll have the most replayable single player games, so stay tuned. It's been Hitman89. Have a good one.